The first memory I have of doing any kind of performing is my parents used to have the huge video camera that you use on your shoulder. You know what I mean? So we have tapes of me just sitting on a couch singing. Like, for some reason, I was the one that was always recorded. So I did my first musical in 10th grade. And that's when I realized, like, I started really liking musicals. The storytelling with the music really got me. I think the first time I realized I really wanted to do this was actually when I saw Wicked. Right at the end of the first act is when I realized, like, I think I could do this. I think I want to do this. I remember in that moment I turned to some friends of mine that were sitting with me and I saw their reactions. And that's when I realized I want to affect people this way. I want to do this to people. I want to take people to a whole other world. I think there's a duality to acting. From what I've experienced, you need to be able to let go of everything, but also be able to take it all in. Let things affect you, and then be okay with letting everybody else see that. As an artist, there really is this need. A true artist really need to let something out. There's this passion, this thing that drives them. Every artist I've met has this passion for something, and it's some kind of story, and how they tell that story is always different, but it's some kind of story. One of the things that I really loved about In the Heights when I first saw it was the first time that I had seen my family on stage. Very rarely do we see the average Latino family. Being a Latino, but being born here and not in my parents' home country, there's an interesting duality there, and we need to figure that out. What does that mean? Lin-Manuel Miranda has said, you know, what traditions do you take with you? And there's always that question of, as it says in Nina's song, who would I be if I had never seen Manhattan? If I lived in Puerto Rico with my people? That plagues a lot of Latinos who were born in the US. The great thing about that question and that struggle is the fact that it can create art like In the Heights. In one of my theater history classes, we talked about how the Greeks considered the theater their church, their religion, to the point where they even brought prisoners to the theater because they thought it could be transformational for them. Yes, there is the escapism part of it. There is the part where, you know, you just want to see something to be able to escape your everyday life, but that escape can transform you. So it's really important to continue that tradition that we've had for so long. I think the best piece of advice I can say is to not let fear hold you back. I really think that that's the biggest thing that affects people. Ask the girl out. Ask for the raise. Do what you need to do to get your life where you want it to be. No one's gonna make it happen for you. So don't let fear hold you back, because what's the worst that can happen? And enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, because that's where the real magic happens. People see it at the end, they see the success, but the real magic happens in the journey.